Hey guys, what's going on? BlueCool97 here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today in this video, guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make an 100% automatic wheat farm. This thing harvests, sorts, plants, gathers it all, grows it, everything. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how it works and then how to build it. It is a little bit bigger from a machine, so if you are building it in survival, it's not good for starters, but if you're pretty advanced in your world, then this is kind of a small design that you can make. But let's get started with this video. So right now there's already some wheat planted on here, and I'm going to show you guys the full cycle right now. So what you do is you'll flick this lever, and that grows it, and you have all your wheat. This button here will harvest it, and then this minecart system here grabs it all and pulls it over here into this item filter storage system. All the extra seeds will be sent up here in a item elevator, and then dispensed into this room to the villager, and he'll pick up all the seeds. Then once he's picked up the seeds, you flick this over here, and it opens up his door, and he'll come out and start planting in all of the seeds that were harvested. And now when he's done, he will eventually turn around and go back in. It doesn't take too long, but that's really the only thing that takes the longest. But then there you go, all the seeds are replanted, and then you can go ahead and grow them, and you can harvest them again, and keep doing this cycle over and over again. So guys, I want to start off by getting the crops and everything placed in with the dispenser circuit. So you're going to go ahead and go 12 blocks across with your dirt. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come along here in the back, because this is where your dispensers are going to go. And then you can come underneath these and break out all these blocks. And then come underneath these like this. And this is where the water is going to sit. You'll need a little chamber for the water, like this. And then you can just go ahead and place in all your water. And then just place in the rest of the blocks. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place in repeaters behind all the dispensers, with some wool going across like this, with some redstone dust running there like that. And then what you can do is go ahead and take some glass of your choice, and you can place this going along the top of the dispensers. This is just to make sure that none of the wheat kind of flies out. It's optional. You don't need it, but if you would like to keep all of your wheat and everything, then I do recommend it. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build your observer clock system. So you'll want an observer close enough to the redstone here to power it, and then you're going to want another one sitting here like this with a piston running into that, and then you're going to want to power this piston, that way you get rid of that annoying noise. There we go. So I just placed the lever on top of it and flipped it for now. We'll hook up the circuitry later. The next thing you're going to want is a way to cycle the dirt. So what I do is I come over here like this, place in a piston like that, and then we want to go ahead and do the same on the other side, only this piston will be placed right here facing towards the dirt. Then really what you need to do is you just need to link up these pistons to some sort of circuitry to power them. And what I'm going to do for that is there's a small little circuit that runs around like this. And rather than placing blocks over top of this, I'm just going to extend out one more. So it does make it a little bit more bulky, but it still does work in the end. Okay, so I have my repeater placed here like that, running into a block, powering this piston right here. And I'm going to place in 8 pieces of redstone dust on both sides. You will need to place a block here, that way that is not powered. And then, since this is the center right here, we can go ahead and place in one more like that on each, with an observer facing upwards here with a block on top of it like that. Then we can come underneath this, place in a repeater here like that, and then run some redstone into it just like this. You're then going to want a little bit of an area to stand over here, so I recommend just chucking in some blocks in front of your dirt here like this, so you can stand somewhere. I'm going out 3 blocks because we will eventually put glass on this. So you're going to want at least like a 2-block area to stand, because I think that's the best way for operating the system. And we'll expand this over 1 more block, And because, you know, what the heck, why not, we're here, we'll go ahead and place in the glass here in the front now. We won't do the top yet because we still need to plant down the crops for now, but this is what it's going to look like right now. So then right here, we're going to have a button, and what this button will do is it will activate a sticky piston, and this sticky piston here will have a redstone block on it like this, and when it is lowered down, it'll activate this redstone line, which will link up to this. Alright, so if we press this button, we should see those move, but what we are going to want to do is we're going to want to change the timings on this and set that to the maximum delay, and then push the button again. And there we go. So when you push that button, that will be sent across this way, and then it'll be sent back, then it'll be sent back across, and then back this way one more time. Alright, and now what we can do is, for the activation of this, we can go ahead and place down our block here like this, grab our lever, go like this, turn it on, and then run a redstone line like this. And there we go. So now when we want this thing powered, we just flick this, and then the bone meal will be at work. And I'm going to go up one more with the glass, just so it is flush with this lever here, and so it looks nice and dandy. Okay, so you have the auto harvesting and you have the automatic bone mealing system. Now all we need to do is get the gathering system, the planting, and the filtration system. Yes, it does sound like a lot, but really it's not going to take us too long. Alright, for this next bit, we are going to need hoppers, powered rails, regular rails, dirt, minecart with hopper, and some blocks of redstone. So this is where the hopper minecart will be running, and so we're just going to go ahead and place in a few redstone blocks where we will need our rails, just so we don't have to do it later when they're all placed in, and risk the water pouring down and destroying everything. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to come over here like this, that way the minecart has something to run into, and then you're going to take some hoppers, and they're going to be running across here. So come over here to the other side, place on this block of dirt, and then you're going to want to go ahead, come down one more, and place hoppers all along here. There we go. And then you can go ahead and start placing in your rails, and every time you get to a redstone block, place in a powered rail. That way the minecart has something to run on. And then just go ahead and place in your minecart with hopper, and send that across, and there it'll go. It'll be sent back and forth. Just come over here to this side, and make sure that this is a powered rail, so that way the hopper minecart can run back and forth. Then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to bring this hopper system down here just a couple blocks, so that way when we start doing the circuitry for the filtration system, it doesn't get in the way of the other redstone components, and we don't have to risk the hoppers being powered by other redstone components. So we'll just run the hopper line going across like this. Alright, so what you're going to start off doing is you're going to want to come down a block underneath this hopper, place in another hopper here like this, and then come off to the side and place in a double chest, place a sign on this chest, and call it wheat. Then get another hopper and have it be running into this chest like this, then come underneath this hopper like this and place in another hopper. Only this hopper needs to be running into that block like this. Then what you're going to want to do is have a block over here in open space with a redstone torch, with glass here like this, with a comparator running into a block, with redstone dust placed here like that, with a repeater running into this redstone torch. Then, from this hopper here, you'll want to place in another one and have this hopper run into a chest, and then put a sign onto this chest and name this one seeds. Then you're going to want to take a comparator output from this hopper here, and you're going to want to run this over into a system that will be powering this hopper here. So I'm going to go ahead, place a couple blocks over here like this, and place in a redstone torch. The reason why we use glass here like this is because if this was a regular block, it would power this hopper, and that would ruin the system. So this comparator will run into this block here with redstone dust placed like that, and it needs to run underneath like this and reach this redstone torch here. So you're going to want to place a bunch of seeds in here. Once they stop getting pulled through, even them out between the hopper, I'll kind of show you what that looks like right now. Okay, so we're going to go into this hopper here. I'm going to take a 64 seeds and place them in here like this. They're then going to be getting pulled through that hopper and put inside this chest and inside of this hopper here. Once there is enough in here to where it no longer powers this redstone torch here, then it won't be able to pull any more through, and it looks like that limit is 45. So then we're going to go ahead and just distribute these between the rest of this thing. So if I take all the seeds out and we're to chuck one in the top here, we would see that this one seed ends up inside this large chest here. And this works with any item really. This would be the item that you want to end up in here, and this would be the other item that's being filtered. The next thing we're going to build is the place where the villager is stored. So the door is going to be going here, and then the rest of the stuff is going to be built around this. And I make his floor out of dirt. So I believe this is about the size of the other one. And then we're just going to go ahead and place some stone bricks around the area like this. So he's got his bed, his composter, a little glass window on each side, and then more bricks running around like this. This needs to be big enough to where he can jump in, just because I believe that would be well suited for him. And I just place a torch in each corner like that, and this is a suitable living space. But one more thing you're going to do when you're in here is place redstone dust down here like that. Okay, so the next circuit we need to build is a way to open up this door. And so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to come underneath this block like this, place in a redstone torch like that, and then just run a redstone line up like this that runs over to this quartz platform area. That'll go about right here. Break this, place in another piece of carpet, flick that lever, and then place in redstone dust like that. And now the door will be closed. When you flick this, it's going to open up. And then, so the villager doesn't go wandering around, just get some more blocks here and place them on the sides. I recommend putting glass here. That way you can see the villager and you know he's doing what he needs to be doing. Okay, so now that we have a place for the villager to live, we know the parameters of which we need to be building this circuit here for putting the seeds up back into his house for him to grab and to replant. Alright, so starting off, you will need the items I do have in my inventory. We will need others later, like some water, but this is just, and soul sand. This is just a basic bit right now. So from this chest here, you're going to come out 9 blocks, and this is where the center of the water is going to be. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come over one more, so that way it's more lined up to where it needs to be, because the dispenser for this is going to be right there. So you'll just come here and just place in some hoppers, just so you get a rough idea of where everything needs to be. The water is going to be here in this area, and so we're going to go back one, place in that dispenser, or dropper I should say, and then the soul sand will be placed here, and the glass is going to be all around it like this. You're then going to want to place in soul sand here like this, and then you can start going up around this to the height that we need. For now, I'm just going to build up a little ways until we get the rest of the circuitry done. So then you're going to want to take a comparator output from that dropper there, and you're going to want to run this around into a circuit that will be powering the redstone clock. And that's going to look something like this. And then the redstone clock over here is simply going to just be a block here like this with an observer here, with another observer that will be sitting there, but for now it's going to be underneath. And then the sticky piston will be underneath this observer. I just need to break it so I can place in the piston. But then you're just going to want to run a redstone line like this, with another repeater here, with just the redstone running around like that. So now when there is an item in there, it'll be detected and shot out. So now we can go ahead and build up to the level we need, and we will need water for the rest of this, so if you want, you can get rid of the hoppers that are in your inventory for right now, because you won't need them for a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and build this up a little ways more, until we get about even with that block there. Okay, so now that this top block here is even with that one, I'm going to go ahead and place in all the water. Now we're going to want a dropper sitting here like that, and this is how the system's going to work. You'll then need your hoppers back because they run into this, and the water needs to run on top. So you'll want to go up another row like this with your glass, and then you'll want to take the water and bring it up one more. So that'll come up to here, then break this, and the items will be put inside of this. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put a little bit of protection on this. So you want to actually go up a couple more blocks like this, and then placing glass here like that. That way, when the items go in, they don't shoot up over the top, because they can shoot up pretty high sometimes. Alright, then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to place in a comparator facing this way, leading out from the system. This comparator will go up into a block that has redstone on it, like that. And this redstone here is what's going to be activating the circuit that'll make this thing shoot out all of its stuff. So I have an observer facing this way, with another observer here like this, with a sticky piston facing this way. And then this system here needs to be able to power this piston. So what we'll need to do is, since the signal isn't strong enough, we'll need to extend that out with a repeater, and then just have kind of a long system ran up like this. And so that'll go over here like that. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to break in here like this, place down some redstone, and then place your glass back like this. You don't have to worry about the items flying over on that little section there, because once they hit up here and they flow in, they'll never reach that area where the hopper is. But you should see redstone in here if we break in. And sure enough, we got a torch, and we had redstone because the torch was in there. And I'm going to take this torch and center it, just because it bothers me when it's not centered there. Alright, now we're moving on to the last steps. What you're going to want to do is come inside here, get out your villager spawn egg, and place him in. Now you'll have your farmer there, and because this is an iron door, he can't leave. Then what we need to do is we need to hoe all of this dirt and place in our seeds. Then you're going to want to go into each of these dispensers here and place in your bone meal. Then you just want to go ahead, grab out some glass, and place it along the top like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place this out one more row of quartz. Finish that off like this. And then if you want, you can place in a sign saying what each thing does. So this top button here, that is to grow, the top lever. And then the bottom one is to harvest. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. There we go, we got grow and we have harvest. And then over here is to plant, so I'm going to go ahead and put that one in. And that's really everything done. Now we're just going to go ahead and test the system. So if we flick this lever, all those things will be bone mealed. If we push this button, those things are all going to be harvested, and that thing's going to run along into this system here. See, we have the wheat, and then down here we have the seeds, which have gone up into this system here for the villager to collect. And now the villager should have picked up most of the seeds. If he doesn't do it now, he'll do it later, and then we can just go ahead and flick this, and he'll grab them. Okay, so the villager has just come out, and he has planted in all the seeds. Now we'll wait for him to go back into his hut, and then when he does that, you can just close him up and run the system again. And I have noticed that sometimes some items do get stuck here, so if you want to, you can extend this one extra block, which is what I'm going to go ahead and do now. So just go like this, place in this system here so it can grab them all. And then I'm just going to place in another thing of dirt. So now when it runs over the top, it will grab everything. But guys, that is all I have time for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. But guys, that being said, have a great day. Don't forget to stay cool. See you guys